Marty?
Well, guys, you know, I observed it from up there in the booth. Kyle Busch and Matt Kenseth, who are now side by side, were nose to tail a moment ago and not very happy with each other. The Kyle Busch side of things, he said over the radio, you go find the 17 spotter and ask him how he wants to drive my car. I'm getting sick of this on the racetrack.
Patience, boy.
You know, I mean, you know, when these cars aren't handling and you're racing like this, the frustration level gets up to the top a little bit quicker than normal.
And Wally made the call a minute ago. The 5 car was keeping the 48 really tight in the corner. And he did the same thing to the 17, and the 17 didn't appreciate it. That's all it boiled down to, was Kenseth didn't appreciate him leaning on him like that.
Lindsay, how about that 17?
Well, you guys are exactly right, and especially Kyle, what you just said. They don't appreciate it at all, and the fact is, they feel like they are getting no help whatsoever from the number 5 car, and every time they try to get close to him to make something happen, Kyle goes up into him and gets about inches from his door.
Speaking of inches, Carl Edwards in the 99 trying to help his teammate Matt Kenseth in the 17. David Stremme in that 40 car having a good run tonight.
And Wally, you know, that there the 99 pushes the 17 off into the corner, and you think, my God, he's going to clear all these guys.
Yeah.
But when your car drives that bad or it won't turn, you can't use it. I don't care if you run in the corner 20 miles an hour faster than somebody. If you can't get it turned right there where you heard him rolling out of it, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah, if you're going to bump draft here tonight, you need to do it early on the straightaway, not when you're getting to the corner. If you do it like right now or early in the straightaway, you can recover. But when you do it right before you get to the corner, you just go sailing off into turn 1 about 5 miles per hour quicker than you have all night, and the car wasn't turning when you were going slower. It's really not going to turn now.
You know, this place begins to be and race more like a short track, the worse the handling is. You got to pass people coming off the corner, get position on them, and go by them down the straightaway. You can't pass people going in the corner like you can at Talladega and places like that, or like at Atlanta or a place like that. So it becomes more of a short track. Even though it's a 2.5-mile racetrack, you have to kind of drive the car and put yourself in position to pass people coming up off the corner and down the straightaway.
We owe our local cable operators a break. We'll be gone for just 75 seconds. That's about a lap and a half. You're watching NASCAR on TNT. Still up front, Kurt Busch, Jimmy Johnson, Kyle Busch, Matt Kenseth, J.J. Yaley. Then David Stremme. There are your top 6 cars.
You know, these guys were racing side by side, nose to tail, doing all this about 4 or 5 laps ago. And now all of a sudden they've just decided, okay, let's just ride here and fall in line. And when they did, look at how far ahead they've got of the 7th, 8th, and 9th place cars. They really begin to stretch out a little bit, even though
they must have heard you.
even though they're running multiple lines through the corners, they've kind of stayed in line.
Larry.
Guys, you know what I'm working on down here. All the leaders were on pit road at lap 58. I think within the next 5 to 8 laps, we could see what might be our final pit stop, because I think as long as they pit somewhere between 108 and 112, that will get them to the end of this 160-lap race.
Wait a minute. You think or you know?
I know.
Okay.
And that's if we do not have another call.
I never doubted you, Larry. You said they were single file, didn't you?
I said they were single file, and then all of a sudden these guys, but look how far ahead they are. Yeah. I got to give a nod to David Stremme here. Remember, he was in an accident with the 96 car early in the race. Spent some time on pit road, went to the back, and he's driven this thing back up in there. So there's 2 Dodges, 3 Dodges up here in the top 5 or 6. Stremme's doing a great job tonight.
I knew you'd notice that. Matt?
Bill, a lot of crew members running up and down pit road, visiting other crew chiefs, finding out their game plan right now here in the 48 pit. It's taking 109 on the racetrack, pitting on lap 110, and that's pretty much the story with a number of the leaders. The 48 and the 5 teams are working together, getting ready for that final stop like Larry Mack talked about.
These boys are not playing nice.
Well, I just noticed the 17 went after the 5 and did his best to get him loose between 3 and 4 right there.
Yeah, the 5 and the 48 may be working together, but 2 teams that aren't are the 17 and the 5. I'm going to tell you.
They're working together on wrecking each other.
Exactly.
Baby.
Right now they're working on each other. That's what they're doing.
This portion of NASCAR on TNT's Wide Open coverage being brought to you by Subway Restaurants. Kurt Busch in the 2, the Miller Lite ride right at the front there. And there you see the 2 we're watching, the 5 and the 17. The 5 is Kyle Busch, the 17 Matt Kenseth. Jimmy Johnson in that 48 has the second spot for a moment.
But you know what? If that 5 car will pull the 17 car up, they'll become best friends. You know, you can hate a guy for about 5 or 6 laps, but if it works in your favor, all of a sudden you're good friends.
Yeah, we'll see. David Stremme to pit road. We knew these pit stops were coming. Lindsay.
David Stremme's car is in, and you see they're working on the right side tires. David had said his car was a little bit tight. Right now, he's just thankful to be able to be in this race. He had his best career finish at the Daytona 500. He ended up 11th in that race. At the time, it was his best. David is away.
Field on the backstretch heading into turn 3. Larry, what are you thinking?
I just wanted to ask Kyle, or make a statement to Kyle. Kyle, the next time John Andretti or Bobby Labonte tells you their car's loose, show them a video of the 5-car Kyle Busch here tonight. That car has been loose all night long.
I was just getting ready to say, Larry, when you said that, that would be a simple video to show, because you can pick any lap, and he's going to be sideways somewhere out there. But you've got to give the kid credit. He is a talent like we hadn't seen in the sport in a long, long time. And I said it before. My father said he's probably got more natural talent than anybody to come along since Tim Richmond.
And I think that's the reason he can pretty much write his ticket as far as where he goes and drives the race car for 2008.
Those are the leaders going by Scott Riggs, who is out of power on the backstretch.
And you heard him say turn in at the chicane, but Scott was turning in coming out of turn 2 down there. So hopefully he'll get out of the way and we won't go caution, because if we go to caution, the guys that have already pitted are in a little bit of trouble.
Oh, he locks him up. Got to be careful when you're running 185 miles per hour to right there where you got to be 55. It's easy to lock that right front tire up.
Lindsay.
And the 17 pulls in. Their plan is to give him 4 tires, give him fuel. Matt, like we said before, had been saying that he was a little bit tight, but last time, like we told you about, he pulled too close inside his pit wall. They were able to get those 4 tires on last time, but of course he was late. Back behind him, 99 of Carl Edwards. Carl comes down into his pit box. His plan, after being a little bit too loose, is to get a little bit of a better track position, guys, obviously. Ralph.
Well, the 26 of Jamie McMurray has been working his way back up through the field. He's taken 4 tires of fuel. He's a tick loose. He's trying to break back into the top 10.
And there you see pit road a busy place, and Kurt Busch.
That thing was locked up for 100 feet. Doesn't matter, they're pulling it off. Ralphie, here he comes.
They count Kurt Busch into his pit box. The plan here is to go a half round up on the right rear. I talked to crew chief Pat Tryson just moments ago. He does not think this will be their last pit stop as they swing around to the right side, Matt.
Ralph, significant adjustment for Jimmy Johnson's Chevrolet, both wedge and track bar adjustment, trying to free him up. Mike Knauer signifying that they are full of fuel, and he's away. Marty.
Further up pit road, Kyle Busch leaves pit road. His car is actually tied in the middle of the corner. When it comes off the corner, it snaps a little loose, half a round up on the track bar, and what probably is the last stop of the day. Clint Boyer leaving pit road as well. They wanted to try and take 2 for the track position, but Gil Martin told me just can't afford it right now. Had to take 4 tires. 24 cars. Jeff Gordon up front. He said his car is extremely tight. Tried to stay with his teammate Jimmy Johnson early in that run. Just couldn't do it. Air pressure and wedge for the 24 car, Jeff Gordon. Lindsay?
And the 25 of Casey Mears on pit road right now. Casey Mears has said his car a little bit loose. They're right around working the left side tires right now. Bill?
Thanks, Lindsay. All these stops occurring now. 110 laps are complete. These stops coming under green. Matt?
And David Gilliland, who's had a couple great restrictor plate races, some top 10 finishes, working his way to pit road as well. His service already complete. Mark Martin's service already complete. Both cars on the tight side.
Now, this is really going to stretch the pack out, I think, big time right here after these pit stops.
It always does. The green flag stops for whatever reason. If guys are running, that was an incredibly close call right there. But the green flags, the guys that are running first, second, third, and fourth, they come out together. The next group comes out together. But for whatever reason, they're always a second farther behind, or 2 seconds farther behind.